YouTube, it's Kier. I've had the idea for this video kind of floating around my head for the past week or so, but I had to kind of get up the balls to make it. I mentioned in the introduction to me video that I have Crohn's disease. Well, Crohn's is just one of the things I have. I have Crohn's, I have epilepsy. I gotta keep mental track of this, so give me a second. I have Crohn's, I'm epileptic, I have endometriosis and ovarian cysts. I have chronic migraines. I've had those since I was about 6 years old. Oh, and rheumatoid arthritis. I knew there was one I was forgetting. And in addition to the symptoms from those diseases, I have symptoms that do not yet have a diagnosis to explain them. Sometimes I blank out. I mean, I will blank out for entire periods of time. I don't know if that's part of the epilepsy, but I do know that in addition to blanking out, my memory, which used to be fucking impeccable, sometimes will completely go. I will forget what I'm talking about. I will forget, why I came into a room, and not just for a minute. I will go back to the room I was in to begin with and come back in if I ever remember. There are times when I forget my animals' names. Now keep in mind, I'm not yet 28 years old. I'm doing it right now. Oh fuck, hold on. Okay, yeah, I remember where I was going with this. See what I mean? I will forget the words to songs I have known forever. That was something I never did. I memorized songs when I was 2 and 3 years old and didn't hear them until my late teens and still knew every fucking word. But it doesn't seem to be permanent because, I can learn new songs just as easy as I always could, and the words to the ones that I've forgotten will come back to me. So it doesn't seem to be a permanent damage kind of thing, which is what leads me to believe that it isn't related to the epilepsy, but I'm not sure. Sometimes my skin hurts. It will feel like a terrible sunburn all over my body for no reason. Water, oh my god, water makes it so much worse. And, I'll have my boyfriend or my sister or my animals trying to touch me, and I'll have to be like, you can't touch me right now. Because even putting on clothes or having anything touching me hurts like hell. But yeah, I have a variety of medical issues. And I've noticed that the people who love me they try really hard to understand the shit that is going on in my body and the shit that I say to them about it if I talk about it. Because I have always had this really fucked up sense of what it is to be strong and be a strong person. For most of my life, I believe that meant suffering in silence. You don't tell people how bad you feel. You don't tell people when you feel sick. You just soldier on, push past it, and keep doing it. Well, the past couple years, that's kind of become harder and harder, My boyfriend will come home and I'll still be in my fucking PJs after he's been at work for 10 hours, and every once in a while I can't push myself to get up and clean the house, so the house will be a wreck, and the dogs will be, running around doing their thing, and nothing's been done all day, and it's because, sometimes I just can't push myself. That's actually pretty rare. I'm pretty good about making myself get up and shit, but it's one of those things where I really have to push myself because my body don't want to do it. My body doesn't want to clean the house. My body doesn't want to get up sometimes, period. I know that there are a few of you on here who have chronic illnesses and diseases that are degenerative and that kind of thing, which is why I made a promise to myself that even though I don't normally talk about this stuff, I'm going to do it. Because Annie from Mirth and Reverence, I first saw her on a channel called The Pagan Perspective, and the first video I ever watched of her was her talking about being sick and being a witch, and she was talking about, things her body went through because she has lupus, and how she, learned to cope with it and that sort of thing. And I saw that in a period of my life where I was really sick and I was really, really feeling hopeless. And it inspired me, and I wrote her and I talked to her a little bit about, illness and how she managed to put a smile on her face when it felt hopeless. And she helped me. We didn't have a lot of conversations about it, but just talking to someone who understood was helpful. So, excuse me. If there's anybody out there who's sick and they happen to come across my videos where I talk about it, hopefully they'll know that they're not alone, because I know sometimes when you're sick all the time and you're in pain all the time and all your friends your age are out doing one thing and you don't even have the fucking energy to get off the couch, it can be very isolating. And I feel like there are just some things that no matter how hard healthy people try to understand about us, they just can't, and bless their hearts for trying. They try, they do. But there's just some things that only somebody who goes through it, I think, can understand. For me, one of those things is the struggle I have to get out of bed every day. I have RA, so that makes it hard, because when you try to get out of bed and you have rheumatoid arthritis, just the act of physically getting out of bed can take take minutes, half an hour or more sometimes. Sorry, I keep messing with my nose, it's itching. But yeah, getting out of bed does not just happen. It can be a process, especially if it's snowing or raining or super cold or doing a mixture of both, which for me brings the worst pain, a snow-rain mix. But it isn't just that. It's also, there are always a few seconds when I first open my eyes that my body's still, not quite awake and there's no pain. And then those seconds pass, and all of a sudden I'm slammed by everything that hurts, which for me, without fail, is my stomach. My stomach constantly hurts. It never quits anymore. And sometimes my bones, not always my bones. My bones don't hurt all the time. They're always stiff when I first wake up, but they don't always ache. And then whatever, I have problems with my sinuses, and I have the migraines. Sometimes I'll wake up with a horrible migraine, and there are times that my half-unconscious ass, my first response is to close my eyes and try to make myself go back to bed. Because my unconscious self does not want to fucking deal with that. I've learned that about her. She don't give a fuck about my plans on getting up. I will roll over and just try to go back to bed to not deal with it. Not for any period of time, because I have to get up out of bed. But yeah, that is sometimes my first reaction. That's something that I don't think a healthy person could understand. I know that, like, my boyfriend, when I get out of bed, he's letting the dogs out, and he's doing this and he's doing that, and I'm sitting here just trying to kind of get my bones unstuck and start moving. And I'm sure he probably thinks, like, what the fuck is wrong with her? He'll understand one day, maybe, when he gets old. But another thing where I have the problems with Crohn's and eating, because I have severe Crohn's. It's a pretty bad case. And I've had doctors that do the whole, well, what food set you off? Well, when my stomach is at its worst, all food sets it off. Doesn't matter what the fuck I try to eat. Plain white rice, it don't matter. It hurts. I know that that's something that probably gets on the nerves of the people around me. They want one thing to eat, or they want me to eat something, and I'm like, I can't eat that. I'm pretty good these days about making myself eat something. No matter how bad it hurts or how sick it makes me, I'll eat something during the day. Used to not be so good about that. I would go days without eating because sometimes it's easier. And I think that's something that a healthy person, they might comprehend it on a logical level, but they wouldn't truly understand that. Let's see. I've been thinking a lot about this, can you tell? Even your animals, I've noticed, your animals don't understand that you don't feel like moving. They still need to eat. They still, if their dogs have to go out, they still want you to play with them and want you to pet them, and you're just like, ugh. Like, I don't wanna. Deadlines, people who impose deadlines on you. For me, it's, of course, teachers. They don't understand. But I just wanted to kind of make a video talking a little bit about being sick. This has been a really bad week for my body. Everything's acting up at one time. My bones have been bad, my stomach's been bad, my hormones have been all fucking over the place from the cysts and stuff. And my face is swollen. I don't know if you can tell, but I swell up sometimes too. That's another one of those things I don't have an explanation for yet. But my feet, my ankles, and my face will all just swell, and today's one of those days. But if you're out there and you're sick and you have something that kind of sometimes seems overwhelming, you're not alone. And I'm always here to talk if you want to talk. Yeah, but I just wanted to kind of make a video bitching about things people don't understand about us sick fuckers. Alright, I hope you guys have a good week, and I hope you remember to smile.